You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Damasiewicz.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's not too representative of the Mariners going on an 8-game winning streak. Woo! 16 of 19 games. Just went final here on Sunday afternoon, in case you're listening to this at a later date. The sweep of the Toronto Bluejays. Go back to Canada. Get back up there. USA! USA! Sorry, I went to one of the games, so I'm a little extra jacked about that. But, yeah, we got that to talk about. We got no basketball to talk about because Justin's not here.
We don't have to talk about basketball? Thank you.
I didn't see it anywhere in the show sheet.
That you wrote, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you do that for me.
And we do have some local sports to talk about, too, though. So thank you to Justin for hounding that down for us. But he decided not to show up today. So... yeah, I'm Daniel Hargrove. You're listening to The Scrimmage. That's Andrew Gross.
Hi.
He's our producer, co-host today, which means that he's doing way too much. And we are going to get things going with the 2-minute drill.
Let's go, huddle up. Gotta hurry. Hey, 2-minute situation, 44 seconds, hand the ball to ref. Gonna do it right. 3-jet Buckeye, don't worry.
The 2-minute drill starts now. Julio Rodriguez has made the All-Star team, just announced today.
Yes.
He joins Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez as the only M's to make it at age 21 or younger. Daniel, will Julio be the same class of player?
It's starting to look like it, isn't it? I mean, the accolades just keep coming up. I mean, dude, better. I mean, they are Hall of Famers. They are legit first ballot Hall of Famers. I'm not sure if A-Rod was because, people didn't like him. But, I mean, the talent is there, and he's starting to do things that you're starting to think, am I being weird for thinking he could do that? Or is it just... Yeah, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. The crazy thing about those two is they both made the All-Star team twice by the time they're 21.
How old is Julio?
He's 21.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Not positive. Ty France and Logan Gilbert were both snubbed for the All-Star game. Andrew, which snub was worse?
So I looked at numbers for like a minute.
Attaboy.
Ty France's snub was worse.
Yes. But why?
They were both bad snubs.
Okay.
Ty France is the best first baseman in the American League. Not almost the best. He's the best. He's the best first baseman in the American League. He's the fourth best first baseman in the major leagues, which is actually kind of crazy. Why are all the good first basemen in the
National League?
But so he is the best. This is by wins above replacement, which I don't understand, but I trust it. In contrast, Logan Gilbert is the 18th best pitcher in all of Major League Baseball by wins above replacement. Also a snub, but not. I refuse to accept an argument that Ty France should not be starting the All-Star game for the American League.
Absolutely.
Get your alternate out of here. He should be starting. Just because he doesn't have a whole entire country voting for him doesn't mean that he's not the best. I have a question to read. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on multiple tabs here. Daniel, having just been to a Mariners game that had Blue Jays fans there, speaking of
the whole
country rooting for some. Daniel, is it better to have less fans or the added Canadians?
This is a tough decision because part of me was really upset with all of the Canadians that were there because you don't want to hear a big roar of cheers when something happens for the other team. But the atmosphere, I gotta say, was so much more fun than in a half-empty park. It was a blast. So if those are the two things, the two options, then I'm going Blue Jays fans. But how about...
Sorry. I didn't want to cut you off, but I wanted to end the music.
Yeah,
so.
That's understandable. How about we just fill the park with Mariners fans?
Well, that would be ideal.
Right?
I was going to say that I totally get what you're saying with, like, it makes you angry, but doesn't that make the experience better?
Yeah,
like, if
that's true.
if I'm going to a game, if I can get mad and super upset that there's other teams' fans that are yelling loud, that makes it doesn't make me necessarily happy, I guess, but it makes the experience more enjoyable.
Exactly.
Like, as long as you have the perspective that this is just, like, I'm not advocating actually fighting fans or anything, but if you can it gets that emotion up, and you're just like, it makes it more fun to yell louder and try to yell the other guys.
Every time,
absolutely.
Every time a "Let's Go Blue Jays" chant started up, you better believe we were going to start yelling "Let's Go Mariners."
That's right.
Every single time, and then we would start yelling "Let's Go Mariners," and then you'd start to hear spatterings of "Let's Go Blue Jays," and then you would just yell louder. The best though was I was sitting with Sean. We've had on the show before a few times.
Friend of the show.
And my favorite was when he would start chanting USA, and then like our whole section would be like, USA, USA. It was a blast. And we only had a couple of...
It worked.
It did work. Yeah.
The Mariners won.
Yes.
Thanks in part to the support of their fans.
Absolutely.
Which you were there.
Yes. They won because I was there. No. It was fun. I almost wish that we were sitting next to some more unruly Blue Jays fans.
So you could have got more mad.
So we could have got more into it. But the two Blue Jays fans who were like the only two in our section.
Because they're Canadian.
Yeah, that's a good point. The only two in our section was like a lady and her niece, and they were so nice.
What you wanted was a couple of Yankees fans that showed up just to root for the Blue Jays to annoy Mariners fans. That's what you actually wanted.
No, that would have been fun. But then we might have come to blows. And I was there for my brother's birthday, so I feel like that would have put a damper on the whole thing.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But, or maybe some hockey fan Canadians, who forgot what sport they were watching, got a little too excited.
I think they're still really nice. I don't know.
Are they? They punch you and then say sorry?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That checks out.
The punching is mostly on the ice, I think.
Oh, do they save that up?
And then maybe at youth in the stands at youth events. I feel like a few years ago there was
there's a fight,
pretty serious fight at a youth hockey event.
That makes sense. But the entire experience was amazing. And then I was there the night where Suarez hit the walk-off homer. So that was legit.
That's awesome.
That was so cool. So first of all, it was a long game as it was. So like in the sixth inning, we're like, oh my gosh, it's already been an hour and a half or 2.5 hour game. And then we go into the extra innings, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Then they only needed a run in the 10th. They shut him out in the 10th, and all you needed was one run. So I'm upset because I'm an old school baseball guy. Bunt him over, hit him in.
You're like, you already have someone on base. That's the hard part.
Exactly. And they don't do that. Then somebody was asking me, do you bunt Santana when that happened? Or do you bunt Santana? Because he was leading off the next inning, the 11th. And I was like, absolutely I would if he knew how to bunt, but I'm assuming that's why nobody does this, is because nobody
knows how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody was like, I was like, just bunt the darn ball. And somebody was like, well, it's not that easy. And I was like, no, it is compared to hitting if you practice it. Because in one, you're swinging your bat at it, and the other, you're just catching the ball. Last I checked, these players catch balls for a living. That's what they do. So it drives me nuts, but nobody practices it, so nobody knows how to do it.
We've got a loud, obnoxious Yankees fan in the comments right now.
Oh, good. What's Francis have to say?
What doesn't Francis have to say? He's got some stuff that I'll save for the mailbag about the Pac-12.
Ooh, good.
And about fans being sad. But then he says, let's go Yankees, with 27 exclamation points, one for each world title. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. I think he's watching the wrong show.
Yeah. It sucks how good the Yankees are right now.
It's the worst.
It's
not the worst.
Don't like it.
The Astros being that good would be the worst.
Yeah. When they were playing against each other, I was just rooting for national disaster. Like, I was rooting for a weather event.
Go Humps.
Yeah. Can you mess
Clear
up
the benches.
That That's disgusting. Anyway.
How many have they won? They won...
The Mariners have won 8 in a row.
8 in a row.
16 out of the last 19.
That's awesome.
That
was the number I was trying to remember.
Yeah, the only team... In fact, I think the Astros lost last night, so I think the Mariners have the best streak going in the league right now.
They're now, is it 2 games above 500?
They are 3 games above 500.
Games. They're gaining.
We gained a game on Houston and New York, because New York actually in their last 10 games is only 6-4, and in our last 10 we're 9-1. So
it's like they've been taking a page from Pete Carroll's playbook. Guys, we can't win the season in the first quarter.
We'll just not do anything in the first quarter.
Let's just be really bad for most of the first half of the season.
Oh, Julio's going to the All-Star game. I'm super excited about that. I am really upset about Ty France.
For what it's worth, there will be alternates named this week, and people will drop out because they can't play. I think it's likely that the major snubs will end up being able to go.
And Ty France seems to be the biggest one so far.
He's huge.
It's nuts.
I don't understand how he's not.
I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
It doesn't make sense.
He was a finalist for a starting position.
Yeah.
So
and I know that that's a fan vote, but then you look at his numbers and you're like, oh, okay, he's the guy who actually deserves to be there, and the other guy's the hype machine.
Yeah.
Which I get it. Vlad Guerrero is also amazing, but
he has a whole country rooting for him.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
For him.
But when you look at the numbers, it's Ty France.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's frustrating. Anyway, going to have a smaller show today if you haven't already noticed, because we don't have a whole third of our show. So it'll probably be a third shorter.
At least a third.
At least a third. So we are going to get to Stump Daniel in a little bit.
Yes, Francis. France does play for the Mariners. You'd know that if you watched baseball at all, but as a Yankees fan, you don't watch baseball. So he says, if yes, that's why. Yes, we know. We know.
Exactly. We know this reason. Okay. Let's take a commercial break so I can gather myself after listening to Francis's opinions.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damasiewicz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damasiewicz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damasiewiczlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com. Serving questions up on a silver platter, where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
This is Justin's favorite part of the show.
It is, but he's missing it.
He is missing it.
Poor
but
Justin.
I have a very short Stump Daniel.
Okay.
Brought to you by a random Bleacher Report notification that I got earlier today.
Attaboy. But it's also brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
No relation.
What's the A stand for?
Exactly. So thank you to our sponsors. Also, our sponsor, Oli Penn Real Estate, which I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. But yes, those are our sponsors. Damasiewicz sponsors this part.
All right, so I have one question for you.
Okay.
The way you answer the question, how confident you are, how long it takes you.
Okay, now Francis is texting me because he wanted to make sure that I saw the he watches in October comment. He just wanted to make
I don't know
sure.
what he's talking about. They don't play baseball in October.
The Mariners played a game in October last year. I think the season went that long.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
Hold on here. If you depending on how you answer this, you can be in the Beaver zone, the Cougar zone, or the Duck zone.
But there's only one
Yes.
question?
It's entirely subjective.
Uh-oh.
Daniel's like, oh no!
Okay.
All right, Daniel.
Yes.
I have to read this to make sure I ask the question and don't give you the answer first. Okay. It's official.
Okay.
With Bryce Harper out, Atlanta's William Contreras will start at DH for the National League alongside his brother, Wilson Contreras,
Oh, nice.
the Cubs catcher. They will be the first brothers to start on the same All-Star team since who started when?
Oh, the same All-Star team, so not just National League.
They started on the same All-Star team since who when? So it's a two-part question.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. I'm not sure if... I don't think Aaron Boone was ever an All-Star. So that probably crosses
slowly sliding out of the Beaver Zone.
Oh no! Just with the subjection.
I mean, you clearly are having to figure it out. You're having to work hard here.
Yeah.
If it helps you, I don't recognize these names.
Oh, great.
It's 92, so I guess it makes sense that I don't. But
wait, it's in 1992.
Oh, I told you. That was your clue.
That was
I should stop talking.
I was gonna ask for when it was. I was gonna ask.
It was 1992.
That doesn't help me. It's before I really started paying attention, since I was 3 years old.
I was gonna say you were 3 years old in 1992.
All right, I'm gonna have to risk being put into the.
Do you want one of their first names?
Or one of their positions.
I don't have their positions.
Okay, then one of their first names.
All I have here is a tweet from Jeff Passan.
Okay, there we go.
Roberto.
Oh, Roberto Alomar and Sandy
Yes,
Alomar Jr.?
Roberto and Sandy Alomar.
Nice.
Good
Cool.
job.
So does that keep me out of
You
the worst?
You were in the Cougar Zone.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes. That's a. Did they play on the same team at that time even?
Oh,
like
I don't
in
know.
regular season?
He didn't say. Like I said, all I have is a Jeff Passan tweet. I thought it was really cool, though.
That is awesome.
And when I started to mention to you earlier, because I'd seen the Bleacher Report notification, I found out you hadn't got that notification.
Yeah,
so.
I missed that one, so it worked out great for the show. Contreras is Wilson's the catcher, I believe, right? The only reason I know that is, I think, fantasy.
Yes, Wilson is the Cubs catcher.
Gotcha.
And Contreras, William Contreras is starting at DH, so I assume he's a DH for whoever Atlanta.
Gotcha. So,
because Bryce Harper's out. Bryce Harper would have been the All-Star.
Oh, right, but he broke his thumb, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got beamed. Right. He got beamed in the thumb by.
Which is why you don't just roll over and go back to the dugout when teams are gunning for your players. By the way,
did you watch the John Boy on that one? There was actually a John
Bryce
Boy.
Harper's.
Oh yeah, on Bryce Harper's injury.
I don't think.
Yes, Blake Snell hit him.
Yeah, and we know of Snell because he's
that World
local.
Series. Yeah, and he's from Washington. You're right. And he just was like, I'm sorry, and even Harper in the moment was like, I know,
just angry.
You're okay. yeah, exactly. Which, in the moment, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of respect for the ability to, in the heat, because it's not just in the heat of a game, but also that's a lot of your seasons on the line there. You don't know how it's an injury like that, especially if you know it's serious. If you're like, oh no, something's shifting. This isn't right. Who even knows if I'm going to play baseball again is what's going through your mind. And so that's really, I respect the ability to keep a little bit of perspective.
Yeah, especially for someone known as a hothead.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was like. I was like, man, for someone like him, I would expect him to get really upset and then maybe think about it after.
Yeah, apologize in that post game or something.
Exactly. All right, so now it is going to be time for our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week. That was Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz.
No relation.
What's the A stand for?
I don't know.
We don't know. Justin claims he knows, but if there's no relation, then why does he know? That's what I want to know. Anyway, so
that's an excellent question.
It is. Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week this week. We got Little League All-Stars going on. That's what's going on, Andrew. That's our local sports. So our Little League, I'm a mess. From an All-Star tournament, this is what we got.
My brother chimed in
in
the comments to point out that instead of watching the game, Yankees fans get a head start on trash talking online. And Francis agreed.
Yeah, that checks out. Justin sent me a picture. Oh, yeah, just showing that the Mariners right now are in the 3rd wild card spot. And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, man, there's 3 wild card spots? Are there? Yeah, there are. Or are there 4 now? How many wild cards are there? I don't know. Too many.
You're asking the wrong person.
Anyway,
I have no idea.
Back to our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week, Kale.
Oh, wait. I have a thing for this.
You have a thing for this?
I think so. Here we go. Ooh. Athlete of the Week.
There we go. Kale Kjesbu.
Nice.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Justin did send it to me phonetically, but then we figured out that we were both miserable with phonetic spellings. But yeah, Kjesbu, and he plays for Montesano's 10 through 12 district champions. He pitched 5 innings, allowing no earned runs, and struck out 7 batters in the title game, in which Montesano defeated Capital. Take that, Capital. 8-3. He also recorded 2 hits, including a double, and scored twice in the game. Nice. According to manager Eric Potts, Kale used his curveball and fastball all game to keep the Capital batters off balance. Monty's leadoff hitter, Cruz Vargas, had 3 hits in the championship game, including a double and a triple. He scored twice and drove in 2 runs. Hunter Schmitz hit a double and drove in 2 runs. Anderson Potts, Carson Wisdom, and Jace Galena each also had a hit. Finley Eckerson closed the game on the mound for Monty. That the entire roster for Montesano in that all-star team that just won districts and now are moving on to state is Cruz Vargas, Anderson Potts, Carson Wisdom, Finley Eckerson, Jace Galena, Alex Bale, Titus Eaton, Tracker Winkleman, Jackson Roglin, Aaron Black, Kale Kjesbu, and Hunter Schmitz. So congratulations, boys, as they are heading to state after winning districts. And again, our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week for his outstanding pitching and hitting performance in the title game is Kale Kjesbu. Well done, Kale. You are our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week. Remember to send in your Athlete of the Week nominations, because even if you don't win, you might get an honorable mention. Either way, we want to know what's going on. We want to know who's playing, who's doing awesome stuff right now, so we can recognize them for their hard work and make sure that they get mentioned and get some credit for it, because it's awesome what kids are doing right now. So make sure you send in your nominations. You can send it into our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can email us. What's our email address? Is that thescrimmage@gmail.com?
That works, or thescrimmage@thescrimmage.net also works.
Gotcha.
Daniel@thescrimmage.net.
Andrew@thescrimmage.net.
I don't accept emails.
We also make sure you follow us on all of those platforms as well. The Scrimmage, I believe, works for Facebook and Twitter, and then the Scrimmage GH is our Instagram. I don't remember what our TikTok is, but Justin should be doing more TikToks. He did one, and he needs more. He did not make it to 1,000.
Remember when you see Justin Damasiewicz doing TikTok dances, comment, do not like.
Yes.
Comment and share, do not like.
Don't like. There we go. All we have left is the mailbag, Andrew.
Yes,
that's
and
it.
I don't know if it's updated, but we've got some. Did you see this?
We've got more. We do have another commercial break before the mailbag.
We can do that. We have some input from Francis.
Oh, this sounds dangerous. Do we want his input?
Not really, but we have it.
Let's get to a break, and then we will get to, I guess, input from Francis.
At Ole Penn Real Estate, we have solidified our foundation on 4 core values. First, we continuously focus on growing our knowledge in the market and in our practices to bring the highest level of competency to our clients. Second, we provide a high level of integrity, compassion, and kindness in every aspect of our business. Third, we put the human element above business through humor, enthusiasm, and patience. And last but not least, we proactively respond to the needs of our clients. Our mission is to create a personal real estate experience, one person and one home at a time. With OliPen, it's personal.
Thank you again to our sponsors, OliPen Real Estate, as well as the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz for sponsoring the show. If you would like to sponsor our show, you can also email us or get a hold of us on any of our social media platforms. Just saying. Normally, I don't do a very good job of remembering to send people to our social media platforms. But
good job, Daniel.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. There you go. We also have the website, thescrimmage.net. You can find all of our stuff there. Anyway, all right, time to get to the mailbag.
The mailbag.
Yes,
Send
the mailbag.
us your stuff. Send us your stuff in a mailbag.
Nice bass.
Thank you. I've worked hard on it by losing my voice at the Mariners game the other night. All right, this is from Francis. This is some kind of depressing stats. I'm assuming this is football.
Well,
yeah, because
I mean, he doesn't watch baseball.
Right. So this is Pac-12 football.
He does watch some basketball. It's probably not basketball, though.
I'm assuming this is football.
I don't think he probably acknowledges that basketball is played in the Pac-10. Is it the Pac-10 now? Have they changed?
It doesn't take place until, 2024?
Oh, right. That's so weird. Hey, we're going to drop this big bombshell.
Right.
Not even tell you that we're talking about this.
And then just
We're
leave.
leaving in 2 years. Oh, yeah, 2 years, though. So can we still keep playing games?
Yeah, you guys still... please don't try and break our freshmen's legs so we can have a good season that first year.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't think you're off base saying that, but I don't like it.
I could see some of the more reckless teams out there, the Oregon Ducks, doing stupid stuff like that. All right. He says, omitting all USC and UCLA statistics today, we're only counting loyal schools.
That's right.
At least until Oregon and Washington joined the Big 19. He also says, congratulations to UW. You are now the Pac-12 leader in winning percentage at .616.
Oof.
Yeah, it's not
That's
a great...
above 500.
Yeah. And
That'd be great if you're in baseball.
I'd say
it's a good batting
great,
average.
except for then he said that Wazoo and Oregon State moved up 2 spots to 9th and 10th, 499 and 472. And you know what's funny is I was actually surprised that Oregon State's winning percentage was that high. Oregon State.
I'm impressed that we're
you guys are
499
close.
is basically 500.
Right?
Like that's really close to 500.
Is this all time or was this just last year?
I don't know.
That's another question.
It has to be all time.
Well, if
he
it's
says it. He just say it is football.
It's football. Now we got to ask him: is it all time or just last year?
Damn. Also, my brother says there are 2 jokers in a deck. Any more wild cards is fake news. This is all time. He clarified in the comments.
Okay, then because
All-time
Oregon
winning
State
percentage.
was terrible for like 50 years.
Terrible.
Or maybe not 50 years, but they were really bad.
Is
for a
that
long
still
time.
counting? Or I'm sorry, that's mean. We should probably not make fun of each other. We're going to be in our very lonely conference very soon.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug. That's not very nice, man. All right. He also says, saw on Instagram post a fan heard exclaiming, "Let's go, we're a winning team." Is that sad?
I don't think that's sad, and I'll tell you why. The point of the game is to win.
That's true.
So what else are you going to root for?
I think he's saying I'm assuming he's talking about the Mariners,
saying it should be assumed because he's a Yankees fan and he gets mad if they lose.
Oh, does he get mad at? I don't think he cares
I don't think
enough
he
to
notices.
Yeah, I don't think he
but
notices.
If somebody
when they lose.
tells him that they lost, he would probably be mad about it. He'd be
Gotcha.
like, "What? How dare they?
They're not supposed to lose." But the thing is, this early in the season, when you're then on a hot streak, like at first I
It
was.
was your Instagram post, Daniel.
Did I say we're a winning team?
Don't know. I know he.
I think I just said we
maybe
won.
Maybe he heard it in the background or something. Maybe somebody was yelling, "We're a winning team." I don't know.
Wait, was that when we first went over 500? That might have been.
Maybe.
I have to go.
Yeah,
check
that
out
was.
my Instagram
That
post.
would have been Friday. Was 3 games ago. They're 3 games over 500, right?
Yeah. So
That
my
would have been the 3rd game back.
my reel just said "woohoo, walk off," pretty much. This is riveting podcast stuff here. Yeah, I didn't say. Who said that?
I don't know.
Oh, somebody must have said it in the background.
That's what I was saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says a fan. He didn't say you. He just said a
okay.
fan.
Gotcha.
a fan was heard.
To be honest, I haven't even listened to that video since I made it. So that's understandable. And I don't think it's sad this early in the season. Like, we're trending in the right direction.
Especially for baseball, because baseball, like, it's a really good winning percentage is like
almost unheard of.
7.
Well, let's see.
Like 70%?
The Yankees are real good,
Yeah.
and their winning percentage is .718.
Yeah.
And they're they are extraordinarily dominant so far this year. Like, it's ridiculous. So being over 500, it's a start.
Yeah.
And you look at some teams,
And especially considering that we were like 10 back from 500 almost 10 games ago.
Exactly.
Like 20 games ago. It's been ridiculous.
It's insane. Yeah, the way they're trending right now with still the injuries we're dealing with.
He's clarifying that it was background noise. Just sad. He heard it and laughed out loud.
That is funny. We're a winning team. Hey, man. I'll admit, we have low standards.
Low standards for excitement, yes. Yeah, that's fair.
And for chance, because I definitely wasn't, that's not what I was rooting about. You know, I was still jacked up just about the walk-off. I was like, winning team.
Yeah, somebody looked at their phone and realized that was the game.
All right. Anything else mailbag-wise? I was hoping that Justin was going to pop into our post here and just...
No, I guess... I have a question for you.
Okay.
I guess.
Here we go.
Do you want to see, and this is entirely subjective, I'm not gonna, this isn't a right or wrong answer, but do you want to see I'll say your teams, WSU and the Beavers, OSU, do you want to see them participating in the highest level of college football, like going forward, would you rather see them part of a lower conference than the top?
So, are you talking about like
something I've been struggling with, trying to figure out what I even want to happen?
So, I'm assuming you're saying like there's 2 or 3 super conferences.
Yeah, I think everybody who's paying attention agrees that super conferences are forming.
Yeah, and that's going to be
and
like the top
they're
level.
paying players.
Yeah.
Like they're paying players. They're super conferences. They have a lot of money, and if you're trying to compete with them, if the Pac-12 or what's left of the Pac-12 is trying to compete with the SEC and the Big Ten and the Big 12, is it Big 10 and Big 12 still?
Yeah, Big 10, Big 12, ACC.
If they're trying to compete, they have to be spending that money, or they won't have a chance to compete.
Yeah,
presumably there's going to be teams that can't compete and don't want to try.
Yeah,
and there will be a second level of whether it's D1, 2, or something.
I think
like that.
It'll bum me out because you always have that hope that you're going to have that 1 year, right?
Yeah, like
you're going to be Cincinnati. You're going to have your shot.
A chance to get there.
Especially if you're a Beaver fan and you had the Fiesta Bowl and you're like, that could happen again. You know, there you can catch lightning in a bottle.
You're a Boise State fan and you're still living.
Yeah.
Was that a Tostita? What was that bowl?
Yeah, I think that
remember.
was.
But
was that Fiesta Bowl too?
That may have been a Fiesta Bowl too, actually. Yeah.
So you always have that hope in the back of your mind, and then more realistically, you have the hope of winning the Pac-12.
Right.
Like that is a more achievable goal, and you can find yourself there for like a stretch.
Yeah.
Before your coach probably gets pilfered. Unless they're like a lifer, where they're like they went to college, they played football there, like Jonathan Smith is for Oregon State. Now, he probably wouldn't bolt too quickly. But on the other hand, that's not really college sports anymore, right? Like, once we get to that point, it's...
I just accidentally deleted all of Francis's messages by putting him in timeout. He deserved it.
Did he?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to trust you on that. So, I think I'd like to see the Pac-12 stay in name, like the conference that is there, because I don't think any of the Pac-12 teams remaining deserve to be at that level. I don't think USC and UCLA deserve to be at that level. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous that UCLA has that opportunity. UCLA is garbage. Like,
so yeah, I guess
they are going on like history from a long time ago. If you're talking football, like I don't understand it. The only other teams remaining that might would be UW and Oregon, right? Oregon makes the most sense from money and current notoriety. So let's say somehow UW finagles it. I'm assuming they pull a. Is that me? Okay. Let's say they pull a UCLA and tag themselves to Oregon, and those two teams leave. Then you have 8 teams, most of which are
not on the Pacific Coast.
Not on the coast, but I mean, you have Stanford.
Yeah.
You have Cal, Oregon State, Wazoo, both the Arizona schools, Utah, and Colorado. Add in Boise State, throw in Hawaii, go back to calling yourself the Pac-10, and be in that lower division. And I hope that they do it so that there's a national championship of that lower division.
Be great. That would
because
be
if you're playing in a division of football and you have no chance of winning a championship, then the system is wrong.
Yes.
And I
agree with you there.
So if they do that, they have to come up with a lower level consideration where they are, okay, that's like the football elite class or whatever, and they play for a national championship. Then the next level is like what the Pac-12 and the ACC and what all those other conferences would now be. That would be another level, and then below that would be Division II. So that's what they'd have to do. And I think if they did that, I'd be just fine being an Oregon State fan.
That's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah.
The thing that I agree with most of what you've been saying. Mm-hmm. The thing that will bother me is if UW, I won't even say it'll be the wrong thing, but I will be really sad if UW and WSU end up being in different like leagues.
That's true. That's true.
Because that's a really cool rivalry. I know that WSU tends to get the losing end of it, but it's still a really cool rivalry that will be missed. Like if that isn't,
and I'd hope they'd still play.
Yeah, but even if they do, it's like Aberdeen Hoquiam.
Yeah,
Aberdeen Hoquiam doesn't have the same meaning
when they're not in the same league.
One team, even if Hoquiam's beating up on Aberdeen, it still doesn't have the same meaning as if they were actually rivals in achieving something.
That's true. That makes sense. And you're right. I will be bummed out because I'm pretty sure the scenario we're going to will probably see both Oregon and UW leave. And so Oregon State and Wazoo will both be sitting there going, oh, well, that was a fun, that rivalry used to mean a lot more.
Yeah.
So
I will say that I think that I know how to fix college sports and make it like it was once.
Okay.
Like the ideals that people like Brock Heward thought that were still around until they started paying players, although in reality they haven't been around for like 30 years.
They were paying players before he got there.
Right.
That's why they were sanctioned.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go, Brock. Sorry, bud.
Honestly, and this isn't they should do this, but the only way this is more I'm not saying this is what they should do. I'm saying, look, to people who say that paying players is ruining the sport, the only way that you can actually fix it is by no longer allowing sale of television rights.
That makes sense.
That fixes the problem instantly.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you and I can go to a Cougar game. We can go to every Cougar game for the price of admission and do live commentary from our phones.
Yeah. That's true.
For free. We just have to pay for the tickets.
Yeah, I like that. The only other thought that I would say is you can sell the TV rights, but all of that
goes them exclusive.
All of that goes to all of the money just goes to a national pot of tuition.
But, now I don't hate
country.
that idea. I don't hate that idea.
I don't
but
think
it doesn't actually fix. Like it doesn't make it does it. Like let me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't fix the problem with
it being a billion-dollar
industry. That's the thing
and the workers not getting paid for it.
If you like the idea of college sports as you go to this school and you're an athlete and you're playing for the school, the only way to get that back is to make the sport make hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
If they're making money from having nice box seats, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's paying for stadiums. That's paying for that isn't causing billions of dollars worth of money changing hands without involving the players.
Yeah.
So and what we have right now is professional sports.
Yep.
So the only thing that you can do to go back in time, stopping paying players isn't going to fix the problem.
No.
Limiting it is probably more real. Like your idea, it's probably more realistic to make it an even playing field and get more people involved. But it still isn't gonna. That your way is admitting that it's a professional sport and treating it like a professional sport. Like all the professional sports have rules about to keep the playing field level.
Yep.
And I'll tell you a secret. No one in college football wants a level playing field.
That's true. Ooh, there's a dirty little secret.
Nobody wants a level playing field.
That's a good point. That is the fact that that's the first time I've heard that said out loud is wrong, because that means all of the national commentators who know that's the case, nobody said that. Like, what the heck?
To be fair, that's not an original thing I came up with. I
guess
know
the people
where
I
heard
listened
that
to.
first idea. They're definitely not the major commentators are drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, they should be.
That's where they're getting their money from.
Tons of money.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so I just think that if you think, name, image, and likeness is ruining the game, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Getting rid of it won't fix anything. The only thing that could actually bring back what your ideal of college athletics is making it so that college athletics is not making millions and millions of dollars. And the only way I can see to do that is to say, hey, ESPN, yes, you can rent our production suite you can pay us for the production suite, sure. But you're going to be competing with the Scrimmage down doing the fan experience live cast. And they're probably more interesting than you are.
Seriously.
Because I wouldn't take much.
Yeah. And again, my thought was a little bit more than what I said, which was you can sell the rights for as much as you want. All of the excess, because then I'd put a salary cap on not only the players, but the coaches as well. Because the coaches right now are just raking in millions of dollars as the highest paid public employees in every state they work in.
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much every single state, the highest paid public employee is the biggest college football coach.
Exactly, which is just dumb.
Also kind of ridiculous because
they're not public. It's not the same.
Yeah,
exactly. So it would be capping everything, and then all of the excess TV money would just go to national college tuition. Like they would just throw that in a giant pot, and everybody's tuition would go down by 20%. Like it wouldn't be huge, but if you've looked at college tuition by now, going down would be cool. Anyway, I realize that that's never going to happen either. So either way, I'd be down for it.
I do think that we're moving towards centrally controlled super conferences, and I think at that point there will be rules put in place, probably not either by the NCAA in a new incarnation or by a completely different organization that sets
the amount of monies you can use for certain things,
salary caps, stuff like that. I feel like that's inevitable.
Yeah, and name, image, likeness, that had to happen. With the day and age we live in now, there was kids making YouTube videos that then the NCAA was like, "I'm sorry, you can't come to our college.
You're ineligible to play.
You made $600 off your golf YouTube channel,
even thousands. You made $5,000 a year off your YouTube channel as a high school kid. So get out of here."
Exactly, it's horrible. So that absolutely had to change. Anyway. I think that's going to do it for our show today. Unless did you let Francis comment anymore? Did he get untimeouted?
Honestly, I don't know how this works. Oh, my brother's been. My brother commented, "Woo, go Dogs! We're just mediocre and don't abysmally stink." He's a Husky fan. He says, "I want to say that the Mariners did so well against the Yankees that there was a positive highlight shown on Late Night Sports Recap Friday night. I was shocked to see it. I'm not sure they weren't playing the Yankees Friday night. That was the night that you were there. So I'm not sure what he's talking about." Daniel says it'd be like the club leagues versus the schools, and he's talking
absolutely.
about that. Absolutely, that's when if you want to see real amateur sports, they're still playing them, and it's the club sports at the universities and colleges.
Yep,
you pay a bit. The college helps because it's a college club, and you play against other colleges, and you don't. You're amateur. You're doing it for fun.
Exactly.
And if somebody wanted to pay you to play, you'd go play for them. You'd want to get paid.
Exactly. But yeah, it was me and you playing rugby.
Yep.
That's what it was. Which, man, when you talk about like when everybody starts whining about like football players and their injuries and stuff like that, they're like, "Oh, well, would you do it for free?" And I was like, "Man, I paid to play stupid sports where I'd get hurt. Would I do it for free?"
Yeah.
I get what they're saying.
Yeah, like I understand it. It's just that nobody was
I just hated that argument.
The Bearcats or the WS. It's a bad because it's a bad argument. It's not focusing on the point.
Yeah,
the point
is there's billions of dollars and you're not getting paid.
Yes,
it's not. Exactly.
The point is that people are paying billions of dollars for the rights to televise players that were not getting paid at all.
Exactly. All right, that's going to do it for the show today. So for my absentee co-host, I guess Justin is the A for absent, Damasiewicz.
And Daniel, USA, 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 Hargrove.
You know, the other chant, you're, and our producer, Andrew, Vive la France, gross.
Ty France is he's my hero. I want to be him when I grow up. Me and Eugenio Suarez want to be Ty France.
Exactly. You've been listening to The Scrimmage. You know, my favorite chant at the Mariners game was when Sean and I started chanting, "Just say no," to when there's a marriage proposal.
That's horrible. You're horrible people.
Thankfully, they were like across the field.